Hello, and welcome to Hereby Nature. Today, we're going to be talking about Luke 12:27, and I'm using the New International Version this time, which reads, "Consider how the wildflowers grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet, I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these." The first takeaway is God's provision is both beautiful and complete. This verse reminds us that God provides not only what we need, but often does so with unexpected beauty and care. The journal prompts for the first takeaway are: in what ways have I seen God provide beauty in unexpected areas of my life? And what's one area where I can pause and consider the wildflowers today? The second takeaway for this verse is that God values you even more than the wildflowers. If God puts such effort into clothing flowers, temporary and seemingly insignificant, how much more does He care for you, made in His image? The journal prompts for the second takeaway are: do I live like I believe God values me more than the most beautiful parts of creation? And what are some lies I've believed about my worth that need replacing with God's truth? And the third takeaway for this verse is an invitation to let go of anxiety and to trust God. This verse is part of a larger passage where Jesus encourages his followers not to worry. The examples of the wildflowers is a gentle, visual call to rest in God's provision and timing. The journal prompts for the third takeaway are: what would it look like for me to truly trust God in my current season? And how does reflecting on nature help me to connect more deeply with God's peace? For the personal reflection today, there's a couple questions I want to tackle. The first one being in takeaway number 2, question 2. What are some lies I've believed about my worth that need replacing with God's truth? So, some lies that I've believed are deeply personal, and some that I don't quite want to share on the internet quite yet. But I will say that due to this, I actually ended up talking with my pastor this past Sunday and asked him, like, hey, this thing that's been really troubling me, like, does this make me less of a Christian? And of course, his answer was no. It doesn't make me any less. He gave a really, really nice example of this. So his example was, he rephrased it like this. So everybody has been given a gift. We're going to do this instead. He told me the verse 2 Corinthians 10:5. And I'm going to pull that up now. It's funny, I was already in Corinthians. We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey Christ. Basically, he was telling me that the thoughts that were going on in my head that made me feel lesser than were lies, basically. They were not true. And to find the source of that thought and figure out where it's coming from and to acknowledge that it's a lie, which on the surface it sounds like very easy to do, but really being able to take the time and meditate and contemplate and ponder and think and just do all of these things, that's kind of where a lot of the thought work in March happened for me. And even in the Walk with Jesus Bible study, the women's Bible study that I'm doing, it's just a really good Bible study. And the week that I was currently working on for like during the service, I do my reflections in between services. Regardless, I got to the part of the parable of the sower, and it came up what kind of soil, basically, what kind of soil do I feel like I have right now. And I was super on fire at the beginning of the year, and it was just super awesome, super great, right? Well, especially with my piddly little garden right now, it's year one. So my garden is alive, but it's not thriving. And it's because of the soil that I used. I don't have that much money and just all this kind of stuff. Whatever. The point being, even good soil needs to be continually revisited. It has to have these amendments being added to it so that it's continually good soil. It can be great soil to start, but once it's lost the nutrition in it, then it's just normal soil again. So you have to keep revisiting and keep revisiting. And that's kind of where I'm at right now personally, that I have to focus on continually like coming back to the word and seeking answers there instead of doing it myself, basically, because I can't do it by myself. I have to have Jesus. I have to have the word of God and have that be where my roots lie, basically, as a very long-winded answer to that question. So the second question that I would like to answer, and I kind of touched on it a little bit ago, is how does reflecting on nature help me connect more deeply with God's peace? So not only does playing in the dirt offer scientific benefits to help with depression, where it'll actually like help the body create serotonin, which is the happy chemical, but it also gives me that like moment of peace to really hone in more to God's peace. Where if I was inside on my phone, just doom scrolling and just doing that whole thing, I wouldn't be able to like attune myself to what God's trying to tell me. Whereas when I'm out in the garden, where I need to be more, especially now that the sun's out and it's just beautiful outside again, the more that I'm outside, the better that I feel. Not only because I'm playing in the dirt and doing something with my hands, but also because I'm getting the vitamin D from the sun. I'm just getting all of these things that, like, as humans, we are designed to have because of God and His plan for us. And even though I didn't necessarily think of it this way whenever I was planning out which verses to talk about, I do think that it's very perfect, honestly. Just good timing. That May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I decided to go over this verse because it's an invitation, it's a reminder to know that you can give it to God, and He's more than able to handle it for you and take it away. Take the worries and the stress and the anxieties and anything that you're struggling with, He's able to take that away if you're willing to offer it up to Him. Hopefully, you heard what it was that you're needing to hear today. And until next week, friends, I'll see you then, and have a blessed one. No. Sorry, Ash is being cute. I will be right back because it's not loading. That was a good one.